Long before the rise of London's skyline or Paris's boulevards, there stood a city built on engineering genius, advanced metallurgy, and social organization unlike anything the West could imagine. This was Benin, the capital of the Benin Empire. For centuries, its walls stretched farther than the Great Wall of China, its bronze craftsmanship stunned European explorers, and its urban planning defied the expectations of pre-colonial Africa. Yet today, much of its technological brilliance lies buried, forgotten, dismissed, or deliberately erased. The Benin Empire's forgotten technological brilliance, the rise of Benin, map of West Africa, 11th–15th centuries. The Benin Empire began as a collection of small forest kingdoms around the 11th century. From these humble beginnings, the Edo people forged one of Africa's most organized and technologically advanced civilizations. By the 15th century, Benin City had become a metropolis, a marvel of order, design, and craftsmanship. Artists' reconstruction of ancient Benin City, vibrant with markets, moats, and palaces. At its height, Benin City covered an estimated 6,500 square kilometers, protected by massive earthworks, a series of moats and walls that extended over 16,000 kilometers. To put that in perspective, that's 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. Expert historian interview: these were not random walls. They were feats of civil engineering, planned, layered, and reinforced using local clay techniques that have survived for centuries. Each section was carefully constructed to redirect rainwater, prevent erosion, and mark boundaries between villages, a masterclass in environmental engineering. Urban engineering and city design, reconstruction of Benin City's grid-like structure. When European explorers first arrived in the 15th century, they were astonished. They described Benin City as clean, organized, and far superior to any city in Europe at the time. Quote appears on screen from Dutch explorer Dirk Reuters, 1600. The city is large, well laid out, and so well kept that it seems to be ruled by reason rather than chaos. Benin City's roads were paved and straight, designed in an axial grid pattern leading directly to the Oba's palace, the political and spiritual heart of the empire. Each district specialized in crafts, bronze casting, ivory carving, or textile production, regulated by a sophisticated guild system. Blacksmiths forging tools, artisans sculpting bronze heads. These guilds functioned like proto-industrial organizations, with division of labor, apprenticeship systems, and even quality control long before the Industrial Revolution. Archaeologists: the level of urban planning we see in Benin was centuries ahead of its time. It's evidence of central planning, advanced governance, and deep understanding of materials and space. The Metallurgical Revolution, molten metal being poured, close-ups of Benin bronzes. But perhaps nothing symbolizes Benin's genius more than its mastery of bronze and brass casting, a technology so advanced that European metallurgists in the 19th century refused to believe Africans had created it. The Benin bronzes were made using the lost wax technique, a complex process that requires precise control of temperature, pressure, and metallurgy. Lost wax casting process explained step by step. First, the artisan crafted a wax model. It was coated with fine clay, then baked until the wax melted away, leaving a perfect mold. Molten bronze was then poured in, capturing details down to the smallest bead or wrinkle, details so fine they rivaled European Renaissance art. Display of Benin plaques looted in 1897. These bronzes were not mere decorations. They were historical records, depicting the Obas, warriors, court officials, and even diplomatic exchanges, a 3-dimensional library of an African empire's history. Expert, metallurgist: what's fascinating is the chemical composition. The Benin bronzes often contain high levels of copper and zinc, alloys that required long-distance trade networks, technical knowledge, and specialized furnaces. Their technological sophistication continues to baffle scientists, evidence of Africa's metallurgical revolution centuries before colonial contact. Hydrology, agriculture, and sustainability, lush landscapes and ancient waterways. Benin's technology extended beyond metallurgy and architecture, it reached deep into the land itself. The Edo engineered complex water management systems, digging moats that served as both defense and irrigation channels. They practiced rotational farming, and their forests were preserved through sacred taboos and laws enforced by the Ober's court. Expert, environmental historian, they had an ecological code that balanced human development with forest conservation. It's a model of sustainability that modern cities could learn from. The sacred groves, community farmlands, and controlled hunting zones reflect a civilization that understood harmony between people, technology, and nature. Trade, economics, and global connections, maps showing trade routes from Benin to Europe and North Africa. By the 15th century, Benin had become a major player in global trade. They exported ivory, palm oil, pepper, and textiles, and imported copper and brass from Europe to fuel their bronze industries. Portuguese ships docking at the Niger Delta. When the Portuguese arrived in 1486, they found not a primitive kingdom, but an empire that already understood governance, diplomacy, and technology. Meeting between Ober Essigi and Portuguese traders. The Ober's court even adopted firearms and foreign military tactics, integrating them with local strategies, proof of a dynamic, adaptive civilization. Economic historian. The Benin Empire was not isolated. It was part of a vast Atlantic world, engaging, innovating, and exchanging ideas with Europe long before colonization. The Fall and the Looting of Knowledge, 1897 British soldiers marching toward Benin City. In 1897, everything changed. The British punitive expedition invaded Benin under the pretext of diplomacy gone wrong. The city was burned, its treasures looted, and thousands of Benin bronzes were shipped to museums in London, Berlin, and beyond. Archival photos, museums displaying bronzes. What was destroyed was not just a city, but a technological archive of African brilliance. Centuries of engineering, craftsmanship, and innovation were reduced to colonial trophies. Art historian, when those bronzes left Benin, so did much of the world's understanding of African technological history. It rewrote the global narrative, falsely. Rediscovering Benin's legacy, modern Benin City, archaeologists excavating, young artists casting bronze again. Today, the descendants of the Edo people are reviving their heritage. New excavations uncover ancient city layouts, metallurgical workshops, and tools that prove the empire's ingenuity. Young Nigerian artisans working in traditional foundries. Artisans in Benin City still use the same lost wax methods, keeping alive a tradition that has endured for over 1,000 years. Meanwhile, global movements are demanding the return of the looted bronzes, restoring not just art, but identity. Expert, museum curator, this isn't just about restitution, it's about rewriting history, acknowledging that Africa was never technologically behind. The city that still breathes, sunset over Edo lands, echoes of hammers and chants fade in. The story of Benin is not merely one of loss, it's one of rediscovery. For beneath the soil of southern Nigeria lie the remnants of an empire that mastered engineering, metallurgy, and sustainability long before the modern age. The Benin Empire's brilliance was not lost, only silenced. And as the world begins to listen again, its voice grows louder, a reminder that Africa's greatest technologies were never born in the shadows, but in the heart of civilizations that shaped humanity itself. The Benin Empire's forgotten technological brilliance, produced by City Gist.